Have you ever noticed that the people who disrespect you the most are often the ones who sense you have not decided your own value? Listen carefully, because the moment you understand this truth, your entire life begins to change. People rarely attack real strength. They test uncertain strength. The greatest protection you will ever carry is not louder words, bigger muscles, or higher status. It is the quiet confidence of someone who already knows their worth. The day you stop begging for respect is the day respect starts chasing you. You were never created to shrink so others could feel comfortable. You were never designed to apologize for existing. Every person carries an invisible boundary around their life. Some build that boundary with fear. Others build it with pride. But the strongest people build it with conviction. They know who they are. They know what they believe. They know what they will never tolerate. That certainty changes every conversation before a single word is spoken. Imagine walking into a room where nobody knows your name. Before introductions begin, people are already forming opinions. They notice your posture. They notice your eyes. They notice whether you seek approval or carry purpose. Confidence speaks long before your voice does. Weakness also announces itself before a sentence leaves your mouth. This is why mastering yourself is more important than mastering other people. Many spend years trying to control how others think, yet they ignore the only mind they truly possess, their own. If you wake each morning questioning your value, someone else will happily define it for you. But when your identity is rooted in truth, criticism loses its power, insults lose their sting, manipulation loses its influence. A person who cannot be shaken internally becomes impossible to dominate externally. Think about the tallest tree standing against a violent storm. It does not scream at the wind. It does not negotiate with the rain. It simply remains rooted. That is the picture of real strength. Quiet, steady, unmovable. The world has enough people reacting to every insult. What it desperately needs are people who have mastered themselves so completely that disrespect never changes their direction. Today is the day you stop measuring yourself by opinions that change with the weather. Today is the day you recognize that your value was never handed to you by another human being, and it cannot be taken away by one either. When you finally believe that with your whole heart, your presence changes, your decisions become clearer, your boundaries become stronger, and people begin to understand that disrespecting you will always cost them more than respecting you. The first battle is never with another person. The first battle is always within yourself. If you cannot convince your own heart that you deserve dignity, you will spend your life trying to convince everyone else. That is a battle you will never win. Every moment you chase approval, you surrender a piece of your authority. Every time you remain silent against repeated disrespect because you fear rejection, you quietly teach people that your peace is negotiable. The truth is simple. People learn how to treat you by watching what you repeatedly allow. Picture a gate protecting a beautiful city. The gate is not there because the city hates visitors. It exists because what is valuable deserves protection. Your life is no different. Your time, your attention, your character, and your purpose are treasures. If you leave every gate open, anyone can walk in, create chaos, and leave without consequence. Boundaries are not walls of bitterness. They are doors of wisdom. Healthy people respect them. Unhealthy people resent them because they can no longer control you. Many mistake kindness for weakness. Real kindness is impossible without strength. Weakness agrees because it is afraid. Kindness chooses because it is secure. There is a world of difference between serving people from love and serving them from fear. One builds relationships, the other builds resentment. Never confuse sacrifice with surrendering your identity. You can give generously without giving people permission to disrespect your soul. Consider the eagle soaring high above the mountains. It does not waste energy arguing with every crow that tries to provoke it. Instead, it rises higher until the noise can no longer reach it. There is wisdom in refusing every unnecessary conflict. Not every criticism deserves your response. Not every insult deserves your attention. Sometimes the greatest display of strength is walking away without carrying anger in your heart. Silence becomes powerful when it is chosen from confidence rather than fear. There will always be individuals who test your limits. They may interrupt you, dismiss your ideas, mock your dreams, or ignore your values. They are searching for evidence that you will abandon yourself to keep them comfortable. The moment you calmly refuse, something changes. They realize they have met someone whose identity is not for sale. They may not like your decision, but they will remember it. Consistency creates credibility. Every respectful boundary you keep teaches others that your principles are permanent, not temporary. From this day forward, refuse to apologize for honoring your values. Speak with calm conviction. Keep your promises. Let your actions match your words. Walk away from conversations that poison your spirit. Invest your energy in people who celebrate truth instead of exploiting weakness. The respect you desire begins with the respect you practice toward yourself, and once that foundation is firm, your quiet strength becomes impossible to ignore. Before you can expect the world to honor your presence, you must first learn to honor your own commitments. Every promise you break to yourself weakens your confidence. Every excuse you accept convinces your mind that your words have little value. That is why self-respect is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in the quiet decisions nobody else sees. It is built when you wake up even when you feel tired. It is built when you choose integrity over convenience. It is built when you refuse to compromise your principles for temporary comfort. These small victories become the invisible foundation of unshakable confidence. Think about a master craftsman shaping a priceless masterpiece. Every careful strike has purpose. Every detail matters. Your character is formed the same way. Each disciplined choice shapes the person you become tomorrow. Many people hope respect will suddenly appear because they achieved success, gained influence, or acquired wealth. Yet true respect begins long before success becomes visible. It begins in private, where your habits reveal what your heart truly believes about your own worth. There will be moments when people underestimate you. They may overlook your contribution, question your ability, or assume your silence means weakness. Resist the temptation to prove yourself through endless arguments. Your consistency will always speak louder than your emotions. A calm spirit combined with unwavering discipline creates a presence that demands attention without demanding applause. Eventually, people recognize that your confidence is not performance, it is your lifestyle. Imagine a lighthouse standing on a rocky shore during a violent storm. The waves crash against it with relentless force. Fierce winds surround it from every direction, yet the lighthouse never chases the storm. It simply continues shining. Its purpose is not to fight every wave, but to remain faithful to its assignment. Your life becomes powerful when you stop reacting to every opinion and remain committed to your purpose. Let others waste energy creating chaos while you remain focused on becoming stronger, wiser, and more dependable every single day. The people who truly deserve a place in your life will never require you to abandon your values. They will appreciate your honesty, your consistency, and your courage to stand firm with humility. Those who become offended by healthy boundaries often reveal that they benefited from your lack of them. Do not confuse someone's disappointment with your wrongdoing. Sometimes your growth exposes unhealthy expectations that were hidden for years. As you continue this journey, remember that real authority begins with self-mastery. Guard your thoughts carefully, speak truth with grace. Keep your word even when it costs you something. Let patience replace panic and conviction replace insecurity. The strongest person in any room is often the one who remains composed while everyone else is controlled by emotion. When your inner life becomes steady, your outward presence carries a quiet power that cannot be manufactured, and people naturally think twice before treating you with anything less than the respect you consistently demonstrate toward yourself. Some people believe respect is earned only through power, money, or influence. Those things may attract attention, but they cannot command genuine respect. Titles can be taken away. Wealth can disappear. Popularity can fade overnight. Character is different. Character remains when everything else is stripped away. That is why the strongest people never build their identity on possessions or applause. They build it on principles that remain steady regardless of circumstances. When your life is anchored in truth instead of temporary success, your confidence becomes impossible to shake. Imagine a mountain that has stood for thousands of years. Generations have watched storms strike its cliffs. Seasons have covered it with snow, rain, and scorching sunlight. Yet the mountain does not move because it is deeply rooted beneath the surface. Your life must become like that mountain. Most people only work on what others can see. They polish their appearance, rehearse impressive words, and chase recognition. Very few invest in the unseen foundation of integrity, discipline, wisdom, and self-control. But the hidden foundation determines whether you stand or collapse when pressure arrives. There will always be people who mistake your patience for permission. They may push your limits one small step at a time, hoping you will remain silent forever. Never allow repeated disrespect to disguise itself as harmless behavior. Quiet strength does not ignore truth. It addresses problems with calm conviction before they grow into deeper wounds. A respectful correction delivered with confidence carries more authority than an emotional outburst fueled by anger. Speak clearly. Speak honestly. Then allow your actions to reinforce your words. One of the greatest signs of maturity is knowing when to leave a place where your value is constantly questioned. Not every battle deserves your energy. Sometimes the most courageous decision is to walk away with peace instead of staying where your spirit is slowly being diminished. Leaving does not always mean giving up. Often it means protecting the future that has been entrusted to you. Every season teaches a lesson, but not every season is meant to last forever. Consider the river flowing around massive rocks. It does not stop because obstacles appear. It does not waste strength, arguing with the stones blocking its path. Instead, it keeps moving until it finds another way forward. That is wisdom. Your purpose is greater than your distractions. Refuse to become trapped by bitterness toward those who underestimated you. Let your growth become your answer. Let your consistency become your testimony. Let your peace become evidence that your identity cannot be controlled by another person's opinion. From this moment forward, choose to become a person whose presence reflects quiet authority rather than loud insecurity. Stand with humility, but never surrender your dignity. Love people sincerely, but never sacrifice your principles to gain acceptance. Continue growing in wisdom, discipline, and faith every day. The more secure you become within yourself, the less power disrespect will have over your emotions, and the more naturally others will recognize that your life is built on a foundation that refuses to be moved. Your words reveal your identity long before your achievements do. Every sentence you speak either strengthens your authority or slowly gives it away. People who constantly apologize for existing, doubt every decision, or seek permission to express every thought unknowingly train others to question them as well. This does not mean becoming arrogant or refusing correction. It means speaking with clarity because your convictions have already been settled in your heart. Quiet confidence is not loud because it has nothing to prove. It simply stands on truth without demanding recognition. Think about a skilled builder preparing the foundation of a great house. No one celebrates the concrete buried beneath the ground. Visitors admire the finished walls, the beautiful windows, and the impressive roof. Yet the builder knows the unseen foundation determines whether the house survives the storm. Your daily thoughts are that foundation. If your mind is filled with fear, insecurity, and self-doubt, every challenge will feel like an earthquake. But when your thinking is strengthened by truth, wisdom, and discipline, pressure becomes an opportunity to demonstrate stability instead of weakness. Many people spend years trying to change everyone around them while neglecting the one person they truly control. Real transformation begins when you accept responsibility for your own reactions. You cannot prevent every insult. You cannot stop every misunderstanding. You cannot silence every critic. But you can decide whether those voices become the architects of your future or simply background noise that never changes your direction. Emotional maturity is choosing your response instead of allowing circumstances to choose it for you. Imagine an experienced captain steering a ship across a restless sea. The waves rise unexpectedly. Strong winds push against the sails. Dark clouds hide the horizon, An inexperienced captain panics and abandons the course. A wise captain adjusts without losing sight of the destination. Your emotions are like the wind. They are real, but they were never meant to become your compass. Your values must remain your compass. Feel disappointment without surrendering hope. Feel frustration without abandoning peace. Feel pressure without compromising your integrity. That is how lasting strength is developed. There will be seasons when standing for your principles costs you friendships, opportunities, or temporary comfort. Do not mistake that cost for failure. Every meaningful calling demands sacrifice. The people who refuse to compromise their character often walk lonely roads before they reach extraordinary destinations. Stay faithful during those quiet seasons. Continue doing what is right, even when nobody applauds your efforts. Integrity always produces rewards that cannot be measured by popularity alone. As you continue moving forward, refuse to let fear write the story of your life. Walk with courage, even when the path is uncertain. Protect your peace without becoming cold. Extend grace without becoming weak. Speak truth without becoming harsh. Every disciplined decision strengthens your presence, and every faithful step deepens your confidence. Eventually, people recognize something different about you. They may not be able to explain it, but they sense that your strength comes from within, and they understand that disrespect has no place in the presence of someone who truly respects themselves. Success without self-respect is one of the greatest illusions a person can chase. You can accumulate wealth, collect achievements, and receive applause from countless people while secretly feeling empty because your identity depends on their approval. The strongest individuals understand a powerful truth. Your value does not increase when people praise you, and it does not decrease when they criticize you. Your worth is established long before anyone forms an opinion about you. Once that truth settles deeply within your heart, you stop living for acceptance and start living with purpose. Think about a priceless diamond buried beneath layers of dirt. Its surroundings never determine its value. Whether it lies hidden in darkness or displayed in a royal crown, it remains the same precious stone. Your circumstances work the same way. Difficult seasons may cover your confidence with disappointment, failure, or rejection, but they can never erase the value placed within you. Never allow temporary struggles to convince you that you have become less than you were created to be. Challenges reveal character. They do not define identity. Many people lose respect because they fear uncomfortable conversations. They tolerate repeated dishonesty, broken promises, and careless treatment simply to avoid conflict. Yet avoiding necessary truth creates greater pain in the future. There is wisdom in speaking calmly before resentment takes root. Honest communication delivered with humility protects relationships far better than silent frustration that eventually explodes into anger. Courage is not raising your voice. Courage is refusing to betray your convictions when silence would be easier. Picture a seasoned gardener caring for a flourishing vineyard. Every season requires pruning. Dead branches are removed, not because the gardener hates the tree, but because healthy growth demands difficult decisions. Your life also requires pruning. Some habits must be abandoned. Some relationships must be redefined. Some distractions must be released. Letting go is not always a loss. Often it creates space for greater strength, deeper wisdom, and lasting peace. Anything that consistently pulls you away from your purpose deserves careful examination. There will be moments when people misunderstand your boundaries. Some may accuse you of changing simply because you no longer accept behavior you once tolerated. Do not allow guilt to pull you backward. Growth often makes those who benefited from your weakness uncomfortable. Stay kind, but remain firm. You are responsible for your character, not for everyone else's opinions. The respect you extend to others should never require you to abandon respect for yourself. Remember that quiet power is developed one decision at a time. Choose patience over impulsiveness. Choose discipline over excuses. Choose wisdom over pride. Choose purpose over popularity. Every faithful choice strengthens the foundation beneath your life. As your confidence grows, your need for constant validation fades away. You begin to carry yourself with calm assurance, speak with thoughtful conviction, and respond with steady composure. That inner stability becomes visible to everyone around you, and people naturally recognize that they are standing before someone whose dignity cannot be purchased, manipulated, or diminished by the changing opinions of the world. Real strength is revealed when you have every reason to react, but choose wisdom instead. Anyone can answer anger with anger. Anyone can raise their voice to overpower another person. But the individual who has mastered self-control possesses a level of authority that cannot be manufactured. Self-control is not weakness. It is disciplined strength held under direction. It is the ability to remain faithful to your principles even when your emotions urge you to abandon them. The world often celebrates loud confidence, yet lasting influence is usually carried by those whose peace remains intact under pressure. Imagine a blacksmith shaping a sword in the heat of a blazing fire. Every strike of the hammer seems harsh. Every moment in the furnace appears destructive, yet neither the fire nor the hammer exists to ruin the steel. They exist to strengthen it. Difficult experiences serve a similar purpose in your life. Criticism can sharpen discernment. Disappointment can deepen humility. Rejection can reveal hidden courage. Every challenge carries the potential to develop qualities that comfort never could. Do not waste your struggles by becoming bitter. Allow them to make you wiser, steadier, and more resilient. One of the greatest traps people fall into is believing they must answer every accusation. They spend valuable time defending themselves against opinions that were never rooted in truth. Not every misunderstanding deserves an explanation. Not every rumor deserves your attention. Your responsibility is not to control every conversation about you. Your responsibility is to live with such integrity that truth becomes stronger than falsehood over time. Character has a remarkable way of exposing deception without endless arguments. Consider the deep roots of an ancient oak tree. Children may climb its branches, birds may build nests among its leaves, powerful winds may shake its trunk. Yet the tree continues standing because its greatest strength lies beneath the surface. Develop roots that cannot be seen. Build habits of prayer, reflection, learning, discipline, gratitude, and honesty. The stronger your unseen life becomes, the less dependent you will be on visible approval. Your inner world determines how firmly you stand when external pressure increases. There will always be people who attempt to provoke you because they mistake emotional reactions for victories. Do not hand them control over your peace. Every time you refuse to surrender your composure, you remind yourself that your emotions are servants, not masters. Calmness in difficult moments communicates confidence more powerfully than endless words ever could. People may forget what you said during conflict, but they will remember the dignity with which you carried yourself. As you continue growing, let your life become a testimony of quiet consistency. Be dependable when others are unreliable. Be truthful when deception seems easier. Be generous without expecting applause. Be courageous without seeking attention. Every choice rooted in integrity strengthens your influence. Over time, your presence begins to speak before you do. People recognize that your confidence is not built upon pride, but upon unwavering character, and they instinctively understand that disrespect cannot take root where genuine self-respect has already been firmly established. Every person you meet is making a decision about how they will interact with you, and much of that decision is shaped by the standard you consistently maintain. Standards are not announced with pride. They are demonstrated through daily choices. If you compromise your values whenever pressure increases, people quickly recognize that your principles are negotiable. But when your actions remain steady regardless of convenience, your consistency begins to command respect without demanding it. Quiet power is not created in a single dramatic moment. It is earned through countless ordinary decisions that reveal extraordinary character. Think of a skilled musician performing before a large audience. The confidence everyone admires on stage was not built during the performance. It was built through thousands of unseen hours of practice, discipline, correction, and perseverance. In the same way, the calm confidence people notice in your life is developed long before difficult situations appear. It grows every time you keep your word. It grows every time you refuse to gossip. It grows every time you choose patience instead of pride. The habits nobody applauds become the strength everybody eventually notices. There will always be voices encouraging you to become someone you were never meant to be. Some will tell you to seek revenge. Others will urge you to compromise your integrity for quick success. Some will tempt you to trade your peace for popularity. Resist every invitation that pulls you away from your deepest convictions. A moment of compromise may provide temporary comfort, but it often creates lasting regret. The peace that comes from remaining faithful to your principles is worth far more than the applause that follows abandoning them. Imagine a compass guiding a traveler through an unfamiliar wilderness. Storms may hide the sun. Darkness may cover the path. Fear may whisper that turning back would be easier. Yet the compass remains fixed, pointing toward true direction, regardless of changing conditions. Your values must become that compass. When emotions shift, circumstances become uncertain, and opinions conflict. Your convictions should continue pointing you toward wisdom, integrity, and purpose. Direction matters more than speed, because the wrong destination is never corrected by moving faster. Some people will never celebrate your growth because your growth reminds them of the excuses they continue to protect. Do not allow their discomfort to become your limitation. Continue learning, continue improving, continue becoming the person you were created to be. Humility does not mean pretending to be small. It means recognizing your gifts without allowing pride to control your heart. Walk confidently while remaining teachable. Stand firmly while remaining compassionate. Lead courageously while continuing to serve others with sincerity. As your life reflects greater discipline, wisdom, and integrity, you will discover something remarkable. You no longer feel the need to prove your value in every conversation. You stop chasing approval because purpose has become more important than popularity. Your presence becomes calm instead of anxious, steady instead of uncertain, and confident instead of defensive. People begin to sense that your strength cannot be manipulated by pressure or fear. That quiet confidence becomes your greatest protection because genuine self-respect always speaks louder than empty words ever could. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must decide whether they will continue living according to other people's expectations or finally become the person they were created to be. That decision changes everything. As long as you allow fear of rejection to guide your choices, you will always find yourself trapped by opinions that constantly change. But the moment you choose conviction over comfort, something remarkable happens. Your steps become more confident. Your words become more meaningful. Your presence begins to carry a quiet authority that cannot be explained by appearance, position, or popularity. It comes from knowing who you are and refusing to betray that truth. Imagine a sculptor standing before an enormous block of stone. Others see only a rough surface, but the sculptor already sees the masterpiece hidden within. Every careful strike removes what does not belong. Your life follows the same process. Every challenge, every disappointment, every difficult lesson has the potential to remove fear, insecurity, impatience, and pride. Growth is not always about adding more to your life. Sometimes it is about removing everything that prevents your true character from being revealed. The process may feel uncomfortable, but the result is worth every sacrifice. Many people become prisoners of comparison. They measure their progress against someone else's journey and wonder why they feel inadequate. Comparison quietly steals confidence because it shifts your attention away from your own purpose. Remember this truth. You were never called to become another person. You are called to become the best version of yourself. Celebrate the success of others without questioning your own value. Their victories do not reduce your potential. There is enough purpose, opportunity, and significance for every person willing to pursue their calling with faithfulness. Picture an archer preparing to release an arrow toward a distant target. Before the arrow can move forward, it must first be pulled backward. Many seasons in life feel exactly like that. Delays, setbacks, and disappointments may seem like evidence that you are losing ground, when in reality they are preparing you for greater momentum. Do not lose hope during seasons of preparation. The greatest breakthroughs often begin with moments that appear confusing. Trust the process of growth even when you cannot yet see the destination. Never underestimate the power of consistency. Extraordinary lives are rarely built through occasional moments of greatness. They are built through ordinary decisions repeated with extraordinary faithfulness. Keep learning when nobody is watching. Keep serving when no applause follows. Keep choosing integrity when compromise appears easier. Every faithful decision strengthens the person you are becoming. As you continue this journey, refuse to let bitterness, fear, or insecurity take root in your heart. Walk with humility, but never diminish your worth. Extend grace, but never surrender your principles. Speak with courage, but always protect your peace. The more your character grows, the less you will depend on external validation. Your confidence will become steady, your purpose will become clear, and your quiet strength will inspire others to recognize that genuine respect always begins with the way you choose to honor yourself each day. There is a difference between being noticed and being remembered. Many people spend their lives trying to capture attention, but very few build a character that leaves a lasting impact. Attention is temporary. Influence is enduring. Attention depends on excitement, but influence is built on consistency. If your goal is only to impress people, you will constantly change to satisfy their expectations. If your goal is to live with integrity, you will remain faithful even when no one is watching. That kind of faithfulness creates a presence that people cannot easily forget because it is rooted in truth rather than performance. Imagine a candle burning in a dark room. Its flame is small, yet it transforms the entire atmosphere. It does not compete with the darkness. It simply shines. Your life should become like that candle. Instead of focusing on proving others wrong, focus on becoming an example of wisdom, courage, kindness, and unwavering conviction. The greatest response to disrespect is often not revenge, but remarkable growth. Let your life become so full of purpose that negativity no longer has enough space to control your thinking. The strongest people are not those who never experience criticism. They are the ones who refuse to let criticism define their identity. There will be moments when your patience is tested beyond what feels comfortable. Someone may question your motives. Someone may attempt to diminish your achievements. Someone may speak carelessly about your dreams. In those moments, remember that another person's behavior reveals their character more than it reveals your worth. Never allow someone else's lack of wisdom to become the standard for how you see yourself. Protect your heart from bitterness, because bitterness quietly steals the peace that confidence requires to grow. Think about a farmer planting seeds across a wide field. The harvest does not appear overnight. Days pass with little visible change. Rain falls, the sun rises and sets. Beneath the surface, unseen growth is taking place. Your character develops in much the same way. Every honest decision is a seed. Every disciplined habit is a seed. Every act of forgiveness, every moment of self-control, every choice to remain faithful to your values becomes a seed planted in the soil of your future. In time, those seeds produce a harvest of wisdom, trust, and lasting influence that no shortcut could ever provide. Do not become discouraged if your progress seems slow. Strong foundations require time. Deep roots are never formed in a single season. Continue strengthening your mind with truth. Continue guarding your words with wisdom. Continue protecting your peace from unnecessary conflict. Every step forward matters, even when it feels small. Great transformation is usually the result of countless ordinary choices made with extraordinary consistency. As you move forward, remember that the respect you receive from others will never be greater than the respect you consistently demonstrate toward yourself. Live with integrity when compromise seems easier. Stand firm when pressure increases. Remain humble when success arrives. Stay teachable while becoming stronger every day. Over time, your quiet confidence will become unmistakable, and people will recognize that true power is not found in controlling others, but in mastering yourself with unwavering discipline, wisdom, and purpose. This is the moment everything comes together. You have traveled through lessons about identity, discipline, boundaries, character, consistency, and quiet confidence, but none of those truths will change your life unless they become your daily practice. Knowledge alone never transforms anyone. Action does. Every sunrise presents a choice. You can continue living as the person who waits for permission, fears rejection, and measures worth by the opinions of others. Or you can become the person who walks with calm conviction, protects what matters, and refuses to compromise the values that define your life. That decision belongs to you, and no one else can make it on your behalf. Picture a runner approaching the final stretch of a long race. The finish line is finally within sight. His muscles are exhausted. His breathing is heavy. Every part of him is tempted to slow down. Yet he knows the greatest reward belongs to those who finish with determination, instead of giving up when the goal is close. Life follows the same principle. There will be days when standing for truth feels lonely. There will be moments when discipline feels difficult and compromise appears attractive. Keep moving forward. The temporary discomfort of growth is far less painful than the lifelong regret of abandoning your purpose. Remember that every conversation is an opportunity to reflect your character. Every decision is an opportunity to strengthen your integrity. Every challenge is an opportunity to prove that your peace cannot be controlled by another person's behavior. You do not need to intimidate people to earn respect. You do not need to seek revenge to demonstrate strength. Real authority is revealed through wisdom, patience, honesty, courage, and unwavering self-control. These qualities cannot be purchased, borrowed, or imitated. They are developed through faithful choices repeated day after day. As you continue your journey, refuse to become distracted by people who misunderstand your growth. Not everyone will celebrate the new standards you establish. Some will resist because they benefited from the old version of you. Wish them well, but keep moving. Never trade your future for temporary acceptance. The life you are building is too valuable to surrender for the approval of people who refuse to respect your purpose. Walk with humility, remain teachable, extend grace generously, and protect your peace with wisdom. Let your actions speak louder than your promises, and let your consistency become your greatest testimony. From this day forward, choose to become unshakable. Choose discipline over excuses, purpose over popularity, truth over convenience, and integrity over compromise. Let every step reflect the confidence that comes from honoring your values. When you respect yourself enough to live with unwavering character, the world begins to respond differently because genuine strength always commands lasting respect. If this message challenged you to think differently and inspired you to grow stronger every day, stay with us for the next journey, where we will explore how to develop unbreakable discipline, lead with purpose, and unlock the potential that has been waiting inside you all along. Your transformation is only beginning.